Mission critical message.
Rogue robot located. A mining robot that went out of control on Homeland in the Beta Hydri system has been located and disabled. The MacArthur Mining Limited DG090 machine disappeared after self-activating and tunneling underground. It remained lost for several days before being discovered over 100 kilometers from where it malfunctioned. Security Chief Sarah Kulkarni gave this report. Our sensor drones detected the robot as it surfaced in the Blue Peaks mountain range. We believe it was obeying its primary programming by homing in on mineral ores. Federal Navy gunships were immediately dispatched. Once located, the robot was partially destroyed from the air before it could cause any further damage. Director Chen Emerson, of MacArthur Mining Limited commented. An inspection of the robot's remains confirmed our suspicion that it had been placed in the incorrect standby mode. Its comms array was then disrupted by local signals, activating a preset mining program. The DG090 series is very reliable, and this unfortunate incident should not be perceived as a blemish on its excellent reputation. Starport Status Update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Kaidan Base, Tasheka, Tshaviano Dock, Hapards, Dantec Enterprise, Socho, Kanwa Enterprise, Cerno, Obruchev Orbital, Div, Pascal Platform, Ahayan, Pordenone Port, Bonawan, Sinisalo Holdings, HIP 18305, Stackpole Platform, Manide, Unity, New Yembo. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. A ship transporting former Rear Admiral Riri McAllister has vanished. McAllister, also known as Nexus, was on trial for her crimes as the founder of terrorist group the League of Reparation. While it is likely that the ship was destroyed by the League's enemies, the possibility that McAllister was liberated by surviving members of the League has not been ruled out. Meanwhile, campaigner Yaltorido has resigned from Unchained, the anti-slavery organization he founded with Princess Aisling Duval. His resignation has prompted speculation about a possible disagreement between him and Duval, with commentators citing earlier rumors of a romance between the pair. The Federal Intelligence Agency has apprehended further members of the Thargoid cult, to determine if the sect is communicating with the Thargoids. Some see the arrests as tantamount to religious persecution, while others claim that the Thargoid worshippers have invited suspicion upon themselves, and that the detainments are justified. In other news, a malfunctioning mining robot has run amok through a settlement on Homeland in the Beta Hydri system. Sensor drones are now searching for the robot, which tunneled underground after breaking out of its container. Security personnel are hoping to find the machine before it causes any serious damage. After sustained Thargoid attacks on civilian targets in the Thargoid Nebula, system authorities have launched a rescue operation to locate also to contribute foods so those rescued can be adequately fed. Finally, a spokesperson for Aranbarahan Purple Creative has announced that its campaign to build a cargo ship has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community. Scores of pilots supported the campaign by delivering commodities to Barnes Terminal, and by eliminating agitators in Aranbarahan, thereby ensuring the safety of traders. And those are the main stories this week. The death of Nexus. A medical ship transporting the injured Riri McAllister has vanished and is presumed destroyed. Former Rear Admiral McAllister was on trial on Turnus World for her crimes as Nexus, the founder of terrorist group the League of Reparation. After being shot by the daughter of the assassinated Senator Nestor Cartesius, McAllister,
released. Engines engaged.
Was to be taken to an advanced medical facility. Deputy Inspector Mara Clapp made this statement. Having lost contact with the vessel, we dispatched ships to its last known location. We found only debris.
Cannot comply.
Suggesting the ship was attacked and either vaporized or hijacked. Either way, we assume the transport's crew to be dead. This may have been another act of vengeance from those affected by the League's fanaticism.
Landing gear retracted.
Alternatively, someone connected to the League may have wanted to silence McAllister to prevent her from revealing information. It's also plausible that this was a rescue mission, and that McAllister was liberated by surviving members of the League. The League of Reparation is no longer considered a threat. As such, the Tri-Superpower Task Force formed to investigate them has been disbanded. Agents from Alliance Interpol, the Federal Intelligence Agency and the Imperial Internal Security Service have returned to their regular duties. Meanwhile, Riri McAllister has been listed as missing rather than dead. Although her survival is unlikely, we cannot ignore the risk that the woman once known as Nexus may one day reappear to pursue her twisted beliefs. Rogue robot missing. A malfunctioning mining robot has run amok through a settlement on Homeland, in the Beta Hydri system. The robot in question was a MacArthur Mining Limited, DG090 model, designed to extract and process minerals from asteroids. It was one of 10 brand new robots being loaded onto an orbital cargo shuttle. Video feeds show the huge machine self-activating and breaking out of its container. It used its mining lasers, fusion drills and excavator claws to carve a path across the landing field. The robot then burrowed into the ground and disappeared. Security Chief Sarah Kulkarni gave the following statement to the media. Sensor drones are performing subterranean scans.
Frameshift drive charging.
But have not yet located the robot. We have therefore declared a regional state of emergency. Should the machine accidentally rupture a water main or pierce an underground power line, the potential for significant damage, even
Ready to engage.
loss of life, is high. Director Jen Emerson. MacArthur Mining Limited made this statement. We are shocked by this incident, and an urgent inquiry is underway. The DG090 series is highly reliable and has never malfunctioned before. The theory is that, due to human error, the unit was placed in the incorrect standby mode.
Fuel scooping.
That stray signals from a nearby comms network
Fuel scooping complete.
triggered a preset
Warning. Temperature critical. Hull integrity compromised. Incoming mission critical message.
Shut it down. Pleiades rescue operation. After sustained Thargoid attacks on civilian targets in the Pleiades Nebula, system authorities have launched a rescue operation to locate and recover survivors. The operation is being coordinated by Superintendent Marla Poulsen of Aegis Research, who made this announcement. System authorities in the Pleiades have been channeling their resources into combating the Thargoid menace. As a result, search and rescue initiatives have been neglected, but we are determined to plug that gap. That means a lot of civilians rescued from escape pods, which also means
Frameshift drive charging.
a lot of hungry mouths to feed, so we'll need to
Ready to engage.
bolster our current food stocks as a precautionary measure. Pilots are requested to recover occupied escape pods and damaged escape pods. In addition, the following food resources are also required: fruit and vegetables, grain, and food cartridges. Both recovered pods and food stocks should be delivered to Donor Soap.
3, 2, 1,
In the Pleiades sector, target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Aaron Barahan campaign concludes. A spokesperson for Aaron Barahan Purple Creative has announced that its campaign to build a cargo ship has been enthusiastically received by the galactic community. Scores of pilots supported the campaign by delivering commodities to Barnes Terminal, and by eliminating agitators in Aaron Barahan, thereby ensuring the safety of traders. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Barnes Terminal, in the Aaron Barahan system. Further arrests of Far God cultists. The Federal Intelligence Agency has apprehended further members of the Far God cult, to determine if they are communicating with the Fargoids. Media channels report a division in public opinion regarding the FIA's actions. Some see the arrests as illegal and tantamount to religious persecution. Others claim that the Far God worshippers have invited suspicion upon themselves, and that the detainments are justified. Dr. Jamila Griffin of the Galactic Interfaith Commune commented, "We strongly oppose this hostility against the Far God sect. These arrests are motivated by fear rather than evidence. We must fight for the civil rights of our fellow citizens, even if we do not share their beliefs." A prominent campaigner against the Far God cult, Juanita Bishop, told the media, "This is a victory for right-thinking people everywhere. Those warped alien lovers are a blight on our system, one that should have been eradicated long ago." Senior Agent Micah Whitefield of the FIA stated, "This operation is purely a security matter. Under federal law, any action that undermines enemy activity during wartime is legal, including the suspension of civil liberties. We are expanding our investigation to include all members of this organization and anyone with a connection to it." Yal Torrido resigns from Unchained. Campaigner Yal Torrido has resigned from Unchained, the anti-slavery organization he founded with Princess Aisling Duval. Unchained's press office released this statement. "We can confirm that Yal Torrido has officially resigned from his position as co-chief executive officer, effective immediately. Princess Duvan remains our patron and CEO. We wish Mr. Torrido all the best with his future endeavors." Rima Falco, a journalist writing for the Imperial Herald, made these observations. Considering Torrido's passionate rhetoric against imperial slavery, it's surprising for him to abandon an organization that he co-founded. The recent assassination attempt against Princess Duval at an Unchained fundraiser may have caused him to regret allying with such a volatile political figure. As yet, there is no comment from Her Imperial Highness. This has led to speculation that there was a falling out between the two. Rumors of romance between them never quite went away, even after the princess's engagement to Jordan Rochester. Is this perhaps a jealous rival storming off in a fit of pique? Representatives from Unchained have said that their campaigning, fundraising and slave liberation programs will continue as normal. Starport status update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are currently closed: Brady City, Chauville; Serali Port, Setot; Flag Station, 41 New Psilon 4, Eridani; Nagata Port, Setot; North Dock, Amanet; Schmidt Platform, BD, 08642; Tani Hub, Inunikori; Vandriat Woolly Orbital, Shabugani; Vinci Ring, HIP 91085; Young Husband Station, Miku. Meanwhile, the following starports are on the brink of closure. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. An attempt to assassinate Princess Aisling Duval has been prevented by the Imperial Internal Security Service. The attempt occurred in the ZOW system during a fundraising event. The IISS is analyzing the explosives used in the attempt to determine their origin. Meanwhile, Rear Admiral Riri McAllister has been shot. She is currently undergoing medical treatment. The incident took place at
Lacey, Romeo, Alpha, Golf. This port operates under federal jurisdiction. You must submit a request before landing.
the
Authorization
Alliance Chamber of
cleared.
Justice
Land on
Hotels World
pad
in the Alien
2-1.
system. McAllister was on trial for organizing acts of terrorism as Nexus, founder of the League of Reparation. The Federal Intelligence Agency has launched an investigation into the Far God cult. Several members of the sect have been arrested. An FIA agent said that the purpose of the investigation was to confirm that the sect was not in contact with Thargoid forces, or being influenced by them. In other news, Aran Purple Creative, an independent organization based in the Aran system, has announced plans to build a massive cargo ship to transport goods out of the booming system. In support of this goal, the organization has placed an open order for various commodities, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver these commodities to Barnes Terminal in the Aran system. Celebrated author Olaf Redcourt has cancelled the promotional tour for his latest novel. In a statement, the author said he was abandoning the historical romance genre in favor of a new science fiction saga. The author's agent responded by underscoring that science fiction is a niche genre with a tiny audience. Finally, the Alliance has announced that its appeal for mined resources has reached a successful conclusion, having received an overwhelming response from the galactic community. Huge quantities of raw material were delivered to California Gateway over the past week, which will be used to construct an Osiris starport in the MEL-22, Sector GMVC-28 system. And those are the main stories this week. Far God
500 meters from touchdown.
Under investigation. The Federal Intelligence Agency has launched an investigation into the Far God cult. Several members of the sect have been arrested for interrogation's proclaimed interest in the Thargoids. It is vital that we confirm they are not in contact with Thargoid forces, or being influenced by them. The FIA is working with local security agencies across many systems to ascertain the truth. The Rewired News Service has broadcast footage of armed federal troops forcing their way into the cult's hired chapels and dragging cult members into armored vehicles. There was no sign of resistance from the Far God adherents. Other video feeds show groups of citizens trying to shield the Far God worshippers, while rival groups can be seen cheering on the soldiers. Juanita Bishop, who runs a campaign against the Far God sect, told
This is a no-stop zone, Commander. Loitering will not be tolerated.
the media. We knew these foul cultists were Thargoid spies. Now we're going to be proved correct. They should have been rounded up and executed weeks ago. Aran Purple Creative Campaign. Aran Purple Creative, an independent organization based in the Aran system, has announced plans to build a massive cargo ship to transport goods out of the booming system. In support of this goal, Aran Purple Creative has placed an open order for various commodities, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver these commodities to Barnes Terminal in the Aran system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those contributing commodities to the campaign can do so safely. The campaign begins on the 2nd of August 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Alliance initiative concludes. The Alliance has announced...
Solid contact. You may disembark when ready. Station facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
Its appeal for mined resources has reached a successful conclusion, having received an overwhelming response from the galactic community. Huge quantities of raw material were delivered to California Gateway over the past week, which will be used to construct an Osiris starport in the MEL-22, Sector GMVC-28 system. With the campaign at an end, Alliance official Tor Vindast issued the following statement. We are grateful for the efforts made by those pilots who helped bring this initiative to fruition. Construction of this starport will make the long journey to the California Nebula safer for traders and colonists alike. Construction of the new starport is expected to begin soon. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from California Gateway and the Sinufai EBR C-75 system. Riri McAllister shot. Former Rear Admiral Riri McAllister has been shot. She is currently undergoing medical treatment. The incident took place at the Alliance Chamber of Justice on Turner's World in the Alioth system. McAllister was on trial for organizing acts of terrorism as Nexus, founder of the League of Reparation. Deputy Inspector Mara Klatt, who was delivering prosecuting evidence at the trial, briefed the media. Shortly after McAllister took the stand, she was struck by a single shot from the visitors' gallery. She is now in intensive care and awaiting transport to an advanced medical facility. Assuming she recovers, the trial will continue at a later date. The shooter has been identified in
Incoming message.
Polly Cartesius, daughter of Nestor Cartesius, an Imperial senator murdered by the League of Reparation. She used a concealed laser firearm specially designed to avoid security scans. She did not resist arrest, and it is clear that this was an act of revenge for her father's death. As she is an Imperial citizen, we have extradited her to the care of the ISS. Polly Cartesius was last seen in public 2 weeks ago during her father's ceremonial funeral, which saw his body entombed in the Hall of Martyrs beneath the Imperial Palace. It is thought that she traveled to Alliance space using false identification. Captain Niam Sutonia has taken Miss Cartesius into custody and returned with her to Capital, where she will stand trial for attempted murder. Aisling Duval assassination foiled. An attempt to assassinate Princess Aisling Duval has been prevented by the Imperial Internal Security Service. The attempt occurred in the ZOW system during a fundraising event for Unchain, the anti-slavery charity formed by the princess and campaigner Jarl Torito. Captain Takeo Diomedes of the ISS gave his statement. Shortly after the fundraiser began, Princess Duval's security detail detected explosive charges in key locations across the event center. We immediately evacuated the building. The explosives, which were of amateur design, were disabled. Forensic analysis is underway to determine their origin. Aisling Duval has not addressed the incident, and is continuing her fundraising duties for Unchain. Her fiancé, Federal Ambassador Jordan Rochester, made this comment. Had the explosives not been found, they would have killed hundreds of innocent people. Aisling and I are grateful to both federal and imperial security services, which are working together to ensure our safety. This is a splendid example of interpower cooperation, which we hope will soon be commonplace. Author abandons interstellar book tour. Celebrated author Rolav Redcourt has abandoned the promotional tour for his latest novel, halfway through a 2-month circuit of 50 systems. Reporters managed to catch Mr. Redcourt as he was storming off the passenger liner where he has spent the last 4 weeks. He told them, "I'm sick of churning out historical romance garbage, especially now that readers can change the damn story to suit themselves. I'm going to write the book I've always wanted to write, a science fiction saga set in the future." A statement was released by Bone Spire Publishing. Unfortunately, this incident constitutes a breach of contract, as Mr. Redcourt has only produced 14 Corsair King novels, rather than the 25 we agreed. We hope we can convince him to resume the tour and continue with the series. Margot Hist, the author's agent, commented, "Olaf's a true artist, so I'm sure fans will understand that he wants a little creative freedom."